of time for it.
Okay, that's Valentin right. Moldavsky defeats Ante Delija by knockout in the very first round, 2:17 of round 1. Mark, give us your thoughts on this outcome.
Yeah, this fucking stunk. It started out looking good. Delija was bringing the pressure. He was throwing some heat. And then I don't know if it was from the inside leg kick that Moldavsky landed or if it was just a bad step that Delija took. It was hard to tell. They weren't sure live. We haven't heard since. But the fight stops for what we thought was a nut shot in the moment. And then it restarts, and Delija basically can't move, and he just plants his back against the cage. And Moldavsky kind of slowly realizes, like, wait a minute, this is not the same guy I was fighting a minute ago. And once he does, he ups the pressure and he pours it on. And Delija tries to survive, but he can't really move. And he gets finished. And then we found out a little bit after that he actually tore his groin in that exchange where people thought it was a nut shot. So, bit of a buzzkill. We got a fun fight for about a minute, and then it was, more or less over and academic. Not exactly the first main event the PFL was hoping for to start their season, and it was kind of the theme as we moved down this card because the next one was equally as odd almost. But yeah, so Moldavsky got it done, but not a whole lot to say about it because it was really just all about the injury.
True. Omar, your thoughts?
I think the one thing that I don't know if I ever noticed it before or if I was noticing it now, but when he walked into that cage, Delija just seemed really old to me. He
has such an old face.
Is that what it is? Because it was giving me like
super old face.
Holy shit!
No, man, he has an old soul.
I couldn't get over that. He just looks so old, and he's younger than me. So it was just really. I had to look it up. I was like, is he like in his 40s and like?
Yeah,
but no,
he's one of those dudes.
Yeah, dude looks like he's got a lot of miles on him, man. Yeah, I mean, like Mark said, there wasn't really a lot to take away from it just because of how the fight went and how it ended. If you take the commentary off and all the volume, it really just sort of looked like he stopped. Like as soon as that exchange was over and the referee kind of restarted the fight, he just didn't really do anything anymore. It was very odd, definitely a little anticlimactic when you kind of think about the fact that this was a rematch if I'm not mistaken.
No, this is the first time.
This was the first time?
Yeah.
Who did Delija fight the last time? Anyway, either way, it still ended pretty anticlimactic. And yeah, I'm assuming they're probably going to want to run it back, I guess, at some point. But then again, I don't know how PFL works with all that. So
yeah, no, they were part of the season. So, I mean, it sucks for them. He's probably out of the season now. I can't imagine he's turning around from a torn groin. So that's probably a wrap for him. And then Moldavsky will get whoever they're going to throw at him next with however they figure out these seasons. They say it's all random, but I always feel like they kind of match up to try to get the people in the playoffs that they want in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way of the world. Okay, so Moldavsky moves on. Let's go to the co-main event. Denis Goltsov defeats Linton Vassell by knockout in round 3. The official time 3:13 of round number 3. Omar, your thoughts of this knockout from Goltsov and how Vassell looked not the best?
It was annoying because he looked great for a round, and then didn't for the rest of the fight, and it was very. It was really annoying because I think we all picked Vassell, right? Or at least me and Mark did.
I've been high on Vassell, man.
That's true. I have not been. In fact, I think this is the first time I've picked Vassell in a long goddamn time. And I picked Vassell just because Mark had made all these great points over the last few fights, and I was never on board and kept losing these picks. And I was like, you know what? I'm on board. And then the time I'm on board, he just decides to come in with one round of gas, and I guess that was about it. Not really sure what happened, man. I don't know if it was a preparation thing, obviously, or what. There's a lot of reasons why stuff like that happens, but it happened, and it cost him the entire fight. I mean, honestly, that fight could have been stopped in the second round.
I know. It really
honestly, he wasn't doing anything. He was just shelling up in a turtle position, just taking shots. And granted, these weren't like the most powerful shots in the world, but there's no way you're going to argue with me that he was intelligently defending himself, because he wasn't. He was just taking shit. So I don't know. It was a disappointing performance, to say the least. Can't really take anything away from Goltsov, because he did what he had to do. They both looked exhausted, but Goltsov just pushed. He pushed through, and Vassell just was dying slowly from round 2 to 3. So yeah, it was rough.
Mark, your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't understand it. Like Omar said, for 4 minutes and 40 seconds or whatever it was of round 1, it was all Linton Vassell. He took Goltsov down relatively easy. He was working from top. He even moved to mount. He was completely in control. He was scoring. Then, 20 seconds left or whatever, Goltsov manages to reverse the position and get on top, but you're not thinking anything of it. And then by the start of round 2, you realize that Linton Vassell is a dead person. Like, he was just completely and utterly gassed. And I don't get what happened. I would love to hear him say something on it. I haven't seen anything from him. Like, I get it. Goltsov's a big, strong dude, and I'm sure grappling with him is draining, but like the whole time was Vassell in control. So I don't know how you can just dump that quickly, especially when we haven't seen that issue in any recent fights of his. So I don't know. It was very strange. And then he was, like Omar said, he was just getting run over once round 2 started. He had nothing left. And then by the end of round 2, Goltsov was gassed also. So it just became an absolutely gross fight. Thankfully, Goltsov had enough left in the tank to get the mercy stoppage in round 3, when
Which still took
body
forever.
just was not even responding. But yeah, that was disappointing. Disappointing fight for the PFL. And they had both of these fights, like 2 heavyweight fights, where it was like, damn, this is pretty interesting. Good Bellator guy, good PFL guy. Let's see how these shake out. And it almost feels like they were both a non-result. This one, I guess, wasn't a non-result because it really did happen, but it just didn't seem like the normal Linton Vassell. So they both just feel odd.
Yeah. Well, oh boy. So Goltsov moves on. Let's go down now to the third fight between Liz Carmouche and Juliana Velasquez. And Carmouche, 3-0, shuts out Velasquez. Mark, staying with you, give us your thoughts of Carmouche moving on in the PFL, getting the best of Velasquez once again.
I truly hope that is the last time we have to do this fight. Like, we know how it goes. It should have already been done as a matchup. Went the same exact way again. As good as Juliana may be in different aspects, she can't stand up to the wrestling of Liz Carmouche. That's all it is, and it's not going to change. Liz is too strong. She's too relentless. She has too many ways to take you down. She'll adjust, mid takedown. You stop one, she's going for a different kind of takedown. And once she's on top, Juliana can't get her off. And in this one, too, Liz would have had another armbar if she had 30 more seconds in round 2, maybe even 10 more seconds in round 2. Mm-hmm. So this one is very settled. It's another clear win for Liz. Now, it'll be interesting for her in terms of this flyweight season, because she's probably the best girl in it. I mean, she is the best girl in it, at least, resume-wise to this point. But she only gets 3 points here because she had to face Juliana Velasquez right out of the gate. So it's a decision, which is 3 points. And you know how the PFL works. They reward you for finishes. So we'll see who her next matchup is. And hopefully she can make it a finish, because if not, you never know. She could be in jeopardy of not even getting to the playoffs, even though she's not losing fights. But hopefully it shakes out in a way where she does move on. But sometimes those decisions can hurt you.
That's true. Very true. All right. Omar, give us your thoughts on this third match between these two gals.
I wonder if they sold this to Juliana Velasquez or to Liz, like, okay, you've got a submission on her, you've got a knockout on her. Now you can get a decision on her and just have a clean sweep. And she's like, You're right. Let's do it.
How much does it suck for Liz, though, that the time where she really needed a finish for extra points is the time she finally gets a decision?
Yep. I bet you Velasquez is like, ha, bitch. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just not the fight I think anybody really asked for at this point or wanted. It's not, and no shade to anybody, but like, it's not even like this happened a long time ago. Like both fights with Velasquez I feel like just happened, like maybe a year or
Velasquez
so
never
ago.
fought anyone else in between. Liz at least fought a couple other fights. Velasquez didn't fight. She's fought Liz 3 straight times.
Yeah, so that's crazy. It was just a weird fight. And I think the real problem is there was no way Liz was going to make it. It's difficult to outdo the performances she's already had, and she didn't outdo them. And so it does sort of. I think it loses a little bit of shine too at this point because they're redoing something she's already had to do twice. She's done it amazingly both other times, and now she has a decision, and it's like thanks for coming. I don't know. It just doesn't have anything behind it. There's just no. I don't know. It's missing something.
Yeah,
for sure.
I get it.